This episode of Other People's Airplanes is supported by Sennheiser. It's day 3 of EAA's AirVenture Oshkosh, and we've made our way back out to that main area that they can't seem to settle on a name for, in front of Dougie, the DC-3. He's the smile in the sky, and I don't care who you are, but you can't look at a bright yellow DC-3 with a smiley face on it and not giggle a little bit. Go ahead, it's all right. I usually do too. My kids love that. So looking around Phillips 66 Plaza today, I can see a DC-10, another DC-3, a P-51, I think it's a C model, a Shrike, a C-17, a Viper, a KC-135. There's even an F-4. You hardly ever see those things flying anymore. Proof that enough power behind anything and it will fly. So there's all kinds of stuff happening. I just want to make a quick shout out. Thanks to Sennheiser for supplying the audio equipment, because there's so much happening around here. You're probably not hearing hardly any of what's actually going on. You may be hearing a few things, but it is a hopping place here on day 3 of Oshkosh. Now, as we're standing here, there are lots of arrivals coming in. We're watching, they're landing to the south today, so we can actually get a good look of them as they come in on final approach. Just so many things happening here today. Today, after we leave this spot, I'm heading over to the Open Airplane event. We're going to be talking about the things that Open Airplane is going to do for general aviation. And as we're standing here right now, we have to move because there's an airplane coming right through our little area. So we're going to pick up the camera and move. We'll be back in a minute. Now, it wouldn't be Oshkosh if it wasn't for the airplanes, and we just had this beauty push past us, a C-46. We're told it's the only flying one in the United States. Don't know if that's true or not, but it is a behemoth, and it looks a lot like a C-47, but it's not. In fact, I mistook it for a C-47 looking from the back. So now I'm going to hand control of this microphone over to Damon. He's going to go show you a little bit about this DC-10 over here that has a pretty special story. I think you're going to like it. Ready, hit it.
Right now I'm standing in front of the ORBIS DC-10 Flying Hospital, and today I'm joined by Jack McHale, the project director. How are you doing today, Jack?
Great. It's a great day to be here.
Tell me a little bit about this special aircraft behind us.
The airplane is a DC-10, Series 10. It was built in 1970. It was the second one off the line. It's the oldest DC-10 flying. It went into commercial service after a brief stint in flight test for McDonnell Douglas. It went into commercial service and flew for Freddie Laker and a number of charter operators for 20 years. And we actually purchased the airplane in 1990 and reconfigured it to a flying eye hospital. And it went into service for us in 92, so it's 20 years now.
And how'd you get involved with the project?
Ironically, I was at McDonnell Douglas in marketing and sales while this airplane was being built. I hate to admit it. I hired into Douglas in 1965. I was at Douglas for 22 years and went to FedEx. And one of my first duties at FedEx was to act as a go-between between FedEx, a phenomenal aviation supporter of this Flying Eye Hospital, and Orbis. So I've had a 22-year career helping Orbis through FedEx.
What are some of the unique challenges of working on a project as dynamic as this?
We have all kinds of challenges. We're a single airplane, so it's very difficult to, it's almost as difficult to manage a single airplane fleet as it is to manage a fleet of 100. We don't go anywhere that you go on vacation, so we have our challenges in country, politically, culturally, ethically. We have a phenomenal crew. We have a base crew of 21 that fly on the airplane. And then we have over 400 doctors, nurses, anesthesiologists, and biomeds who give up a week or two of their time to come with us on the Flying Eye Hospital into Africa and Asia and teach. We're a teaching hospital. The airplane is actually divided in 2 parts. We have a classroom in the front where the first class section would be with 50 seats, and then we have a full operating theater behind that. And a very robust ITAV room that captures all of these training events on 17 cameras and distributes them to 11 different monitors. So it's we're a teach the man to fish. So we come in country and we'll only do maybe 200 surgeries, but we'll teach 200 doctors, and each one of those can do 5 a day, and that's how we're going to attack global blindness.
Is this the first time Orbis has come to Oshkosh?
No, we were here in 2003, and we hope to come back with our new airplane. We're going to sunset this airplane, and FedEx has donated an MD-10 freighter, so that airplane's being built as we speak, and so next year we hope to come and showcase the first year of our new airplane as we did the last year of our current airplane next year.
That's great, Jack. I really appreciate you being here, and I'm sure our viewers do too. Thank you so much for your time. We're going to get Hal on now and talk to the man that flies the plane.
Right. Have a great show.
Joining me now is Hal Biestek, and he is the pilot of this amazing flying hospital. How are you doing today, Hal?
Doing good, Damon. Thanks for coming out here. It's a pleasure to be here at Oshkosh.
Let's kind of start at the beginning. How did you get involved in aviation?
Well, I started flying with the Civil Air Patrol when I was 16 years old, and don't ask how long ago that was, all right? But I've been flying ever since. I've been very fortunate to have been flying airplanes just about all of my life, all of my adult life, and a lot of the life before and after that. So I started then, joined the Air Force when I was 22. I spent 23 years in the Air Force. Then I got out of the Air Force and spent 16 years flying for United Airlines, and then I've been with Orbis for 13 years. Part of that's an overlap because I was flying for Orbis when I was still with United.
What are some of the unique challenges that you face as the captain of an aircraft like this in these unusual environments that you fly into?
Now, Damon, just about every scenario is different. Every place we go, there's some sort of a challenge. A lot of it has to do with just the language. Sometimes it's the facilities at the airport. Sometimes it's just transportation once we get on the ground. Sometimes it's getting fuel to the airplane. Sometimes it's a maintenance problem. And that can be really serious in that we don't have parts. We carry quite a few spare parts with us, but there's a lot of things we don't have. So if something goes wrong, then we have to decide what we're going to do. And that becomes a kind of a cooperative effort between the pilots and the mechanics. We carry 2 mechanics with us all the time. So we'll get together with mechanics. We'll decide whether we can fly with the problem or not. If we can't fly with the problem, then we yell for help from FedEx, and they're very good about sending us parts. They not only get them to us, but a lot of times they are FedEx parts because they're one of the world's largest operators of DC-10s. Now MD-10s with FedEx, but this is still a DC-10, but a lot of the parts, most of the parts, interchangeable.
What is a typical mission profile for you?
There's almost nothing typical about an Orbis mission, Damon, but as a generic thing, first of all, the pilots fly the airplane from point A to point B. And the airplane will sit on the ground for 2 to 4 weeks while they run the mission. Then another group of pilots will come in and fly the airplane from point B to point C. It's not unusual for the pilots to go halfway around the world where the airplane is, fly it for 2 hours to its next destination, and then go halfway around the world back home.
Now, I've been told that you're a volunteer, and that's pretty unique in the aviation world for something quite this large. How do you get involved in a project like this and say, yeah, I'm going to go be a volunteer DC-10 captain?
Well, it started out, I was an instructor in the United Airlines Training Center in Denver, and United at that time was doing all of the crew training for Orbis. So I had trained and evaluated some of the crews, and I knew about the program, and so I said, I think I'd like to do this. So I said, how do I do this? And they said, well, send your resume to our chief pilot, and he'll make the decision. So I filled out my resume and sent it to the chief pilot, and he said, yeah, we'll hire you. Hiring being, a bit of a strange word because we don't get paid. We're just strictly volunteers, and don't let the word out. There's pilots who are flying for nothing, okay?
Hal, it's truly an amazing organization, and we look forward to bringing the inside of the aircraft to our viewers to really show what a unique airframe this is. Thank you so much for your time. I appreciate it. For Other People's Airplanes, I'm Damon Favor.
Ready, hit it. The cost of flight training often dissuades prospective pilots from pursuing their dreams of flying. Sennheiser Aviation and its Live Your Dream partners want to help relieve the financial burden of flight training by awarding monthly scholarships to those who are willing to share their enthusiasm openly with the rest of the aviation community. Sennheiser wants to learn what sparked your fascination of flying and why you want to take the disguise to become a pilot. Scholarships include a $1,500 contribution to your flight training, as well as valuable prizes donated by their partners. Whether you are just starting out as a private pilot or delving into an advanced rating, Sennheiser's Live Your Dream program wants to help. Simply have your flight school sign up for free as a Live Your Dream flight school. Then write a short essay or produce a short video explaining why you are passionate about aviation and what you intend to do with the scholarship. A panel of aviation experts and enthusiasts will judge all of the entries each month and award one $1,500 scholarship. For more information and to apply, head on over to this link right here. Sennheiser Aviation, helping you to live your dream.
So now we've made our way over to Camp Scholler. The air show is over, and we are talking to Larry Overstreet, who has been coming to Oshkosh for a few years now. How you doing tonight, Larry?
Doing well, thanks. 1979 was the first time.
Okay, well, we're not going to do the math right now, but I was born that year. Ooh. So it's interesting. Somebody that's been coming to Oshkosh for so long, you're still camping. What's up with that?
We love camping. This is more important than the airplanes. This is why we're here. We're here with our friends. Look around. I mean, all these great people having lunch, having dinner together, just having a good time, swapping airplane stories, learning a lot, just having fun.
So in all the years you've been coming here, have you always camped?
Yes.
And would never consider changing that?
No way. We've camped under the airplane wing a couple times, but we always end up back here at Scholler.
What is there one thing other than, I know you said the stories and everything, but what's the one draw of Scholler to you?
Oh, it's just fun. It's a fun place. If someone told me that if it was a city, just the campground, if it was a city, it would be the third largest city in Wisconsin. And so you look around and you find people, driving sofas around, driving picnic tables around, driving air coops around, and there's just no other place like this in the world. So you could come here, spend the entire week just in Scholler, never go to the grounds, and have a blast.
You have a pretty unique campsite set up here. How did that come about?
Well, we had 6 friends who decided we'd all spring for the cost of the campsite for an extra week ahead of time so we could get down here closer. And so I came up Friday a week before the show started, and just set everything up as far as the sites, and everybody here knows each other for, 100 yards or whatever it is. And so we're having a good time.
Wait a second. So you mean you came up here to Oshkosh when there was no airplanes?
When there were no airplanes, yes. I do that sometimes.
Just so you'd have room for the people?
There were some airplanes, just so we'd have room for the people. Yeah.
Okay, I just want to make sure I understood. Did you all get that? Larry came up the week before the show just to ensure he'd have room for his people. That is dedication to camping.
Yeah, well, they all paid for their own sites.
Of course. So we right now are shooting an internet video show, but we also do a lot of podcasts. How do you feel about podcasts?
Oh, I love them. Listen to them all the time. I can't wait for the little blue light in iTunes to come on and tell me there's more content out there. So post this, okay?
Well, there you have it. David just got his marching orders for the evening. Well, folks, I don't know what else I can say. Larry said it all. Scholler is the place to be. The airplanes are pretty much done. The air show is long over. All the daily crowd is gone. And the show, the party, the camaraderie, everything is continuing in Scholler. If you're not here, you got 4 days left. Get to Oshkosh because this is the place to be. I'm here at Camp Bacon in Camp Scholler. So Camp Bacon, by the way, that's a hashtag. And we're in Camp Scholler. I am talking to the founder of Camp Bacon, Martt Clupper of Air Pigs, and funny spelling right here. How you doing tonight, Martt?
I'm great. How you doing?
I'm doing okay, but everybody wants to know, air pigs?
Yeah, come on. If you pig out on something, you can't get enough of it. And this is the air, flying. That's what it's all about. Or take my tagline, hog wild about anything that flies. That makes perfect sense.
I would say I fit that bill. That works for me.
Absolutely. So there you go.
And I have a feeling you've been coming here for quite a few years. Tell us about that.
Yeah, this is my third, no, it's not my third year. This is actually, I think it's about my 35th year. I was here for the first Oshkosh in 1970 as a 9-year-old. And actually, I even hit the last Rockford. Before the event was here at Oshkosh, it was in Rockford, Illinois. I hit that one as an 8-year-old. So, and then for many, many years, I was here not only just experiencing it, but for lengthy periods of time, either a week or even 2 weeks at times back in the day.
Now, I know we talked yesterday, and you told me that the people that have been coming here for more than a few years don't call this AirVenture. This is officially Oshkosh.
What did you say?
The A word. I'm sorry. I had to throw it out there.
I may have to leave.
Okay, let's cross out AirVenture and put in Oshkosh, because that's where we are.
Oshkosh, yeah, it's kind of a funny thing, and I know there's a whole new generation of people that don't know anything about all of that. But there was some, maybe I'd say some political things that occurred way back in the day when we'd always known it as Oshkosh, and then that A word appeared, and a lot of us, the hardcore diehards, we've never liked that. And some of the, I'm not even going to go into the details, but there's some reasons specific. It's not just the word, but it's what it represented that we didn't really like. So this is Oshkosh, and there's no reason it needs to be called anything else. And I'd like to start a movement to change that.
All right, I failed to mention, I have interrupted Martt during his infamous now, and what is this, third or fourth year?
Third year.
Third consecutive annual bacon party at Camp Bacon, and he's busily baking bacon for everybody.
I'm trying to anyway, yeah. And there'll be another one of these actually on Saturday. So we got 2 of them this year. Last year I did 3. It was too much for me to handle. So this year just 2.
Okay, and you produce a lot of content. It's amazing. You're like a machine. Tell me a little bit about your twist and the content that you push out.
Well, I was really fortunate. I'll give a quick background. My dad was an airline pilot, but he was also into sailplanes and skydiving and airplanes like the Breezy, home-built aircraft. So I was raised around that entire crazy world. And most people aren't. Most people have a kind of a narrow channel of aviation that they experience, and there's nothing wrong with that. I was just fortunate to have this incredibly wide array of aviation that I was exposed to, and I love it all. So I draw from that life experience and the passion that I have for this crazy thing of the human body being able to leave the earth and be up in the air. I just think that is amazing, and the experience that we get during that is amazing. So I'm passionate about that, and I try to share that by bringing together content. Some of it's stuff I produce, a lot of it, when it comes to the videos, a lot of times it's stuff other people have produced. But what I try to do, I try to have a really high standard, a high quality. I pick out the best stuff. So when you come to AirPigs, hopefully you're going to be impressed. You don't have to spend but 5 or 10 minutes at a time, but hopefully you're going to see stuff that you're going to go, wow, I'm really glad I stopped by. So that's the goal.
I know I'm impressed just with the fact that you publish almost every day of the week.
Yeah, that's the intent, and I almost am always able to do that. Really, actually, the funny thing is, when I started it, my intent was a minimum of 3 times a day. That was the goal. And the long-term goal is more like 8 to 10 posts a day. So at that point, it was intended to be a business, though. I haven't really been able to turn it into a business just yet. So that's still the goal, though, and I'm hoping eventually, if I can get some help, I can get people on board, and we can create this incredible source of fantastic aviation content that's there for 2 purposes, really. On one hand, I want to entertain people with aviation, but on the other hand, I'm trying to help educate people on aviation history and aviation details, and we've barely scratched the surface on the things we can do to educate people, to draw them deeper into aviation, or in this world where we're struggling to see aviation grow, maybe we can pull people from outside aviation and educate and encourage them and move them along, to help aviation thrive again. Because on one hand, it's not really thriving like it used to.
Well, I think it's certainly thriving here this week. Let me ask you, you've been coming here a lot of years, and I asked Larry the same question. After all these years, why are you still camping?
Well, there's something about the campground. It's an incredible experience here. On one hand, I was just telling somebody earlier this evening, when I was younger, I didn't like leaving the grounds. It actually hurt me to not be, because I might miss something out here. So on one hand, that I enjoy. I'm not really a big fan of sleeping actually in my car, is how I sleep, in the back of the car. I'm not a big fan of that, but the experience of being here with the most amazing people I have ever seen on planet Earth, that's what's in this campground, and I love that. So I wouldn't miss that. There's no way I'd stay in a hotel. And I realize you can interact with people, of course, other people that are staying in a hotel and such, but it's just not the same as seeing this amazing experience here with 40,000 or so people getting along in such a fabulous way, and all drawn together because of aviation. It's just fantastic.
And ready, hit it. So that's it, folks. That's the end of EAA's AirVenture Oshkosh Day 3. I'm not even sure we're going to be able to fit all of today's content into one episode because we got so much of it today. So I just want to take one quick moment and thank two people that are helping me out so much this week. Damon is behind the camera. We'll get him in front of the camera. You've already seen him a number of times, but I also want to thank my friend John Conway of the In the Pattern podcast. Man, John, you have been super helpful so far. It's only Wednesday. We got a lot more show to do.
Yeah, we really do. But I tell you what, it's been a lot of fun. I've had a blast helping you guys out, and I like to do whatever I can.
Yeah, well, you're doing all the audio podcasts for the other 3 shows, and you're helping us with some of the production stuff on this show, and just really taking a load off of us. It's really been helpful, so thank you so much. Where can people find you on the internet?
They can find me at twitter.com/pilotconway, and they can find me online at inthepatternpodcast.com.
Very good. We are going to continue to use John's help all week long, so thanks a lot. And again, we're going to see lots more content for Day 4, 5, 6, probably not much on 7, but just keep refreshing your iTunes because we have so much more great content. Make sure you're following the audio podcast. That's the Pilot's Flight Podlog and In the Pattern podcast and the Pursuit of Wings. Refresh often. Lots and lots of content this week, and we apologize if you don't like all that content, but tough. It's AirVenture, and that's why we're here, right? So we will catch you tomorrow for Day 4. See ya!
Well, I want to thank you on behalf of our viewers for taking the time to talk to us tonight, and we'll let you get back to your bacon. But for other people, I can't believe I just did that. For other people's airplanes, I'm Damon Favor. Get yourself to Camp Scholler now.